So what, we survive another fucking week? I think so. Perspective. Perspective and attitude. I think those are two things that I have to revisit regularly. I took off and went. It's my girl's birthday today, and she wanted to this weekend because we are big kidless. We just have the baby. Go up to Parkersburg, and she's gonna hang out with friends of hers, and it just so happens that's where McDivitt's Custom Cars is at. So I got the esteemed privilege to hang out with Josh most of the day Saturday and just work on run-of-the-mill shit that was in the shop, help him push a couple little things out. Nothing extravagant. We chatted, we worked. I got to watch a newfangled contraption spray booth function. It was cool. And that was pretty much the sum of the day. We got to hang out. I got to get out of town for a while, get out of here for a while. And it's an interesting aspect, you know. The more I look around, I want to get the hell out of larger towns. A lot of the guys I know that are running reasonably successful little hot rod shops are just at their little hot rod shops out in the middle of nowhere. I shouldn't say nowhere, just a small town. I've got 50 hack shops that if I'm going to do light collision, little stuff, the little shit that I can handle on modern cars, I got 50 hack shops that I would be competing with. So I either deliver hack work or I outprice myself from the realm of doing those small jobs. It just is. I finally came to grips with that. Over the last couple of weeks, I had an old customer come in and want to do some work. I gave him a fair price. He wanted to cut that more than in half. There comes a time that, and I've fallen into the trap, I've heard other people that fall into the trap. Well, I just had to have something to do. It's better than not making any money, right? No, wrong. You can stay home, sit on your couch, drink coffee, and watch TV and go broke more slowly than working on some of this shit for these people. It's interesting though. You get injured, and you know, I basically, it boils down to I threw my back out, and I couldn't move very well. I wasn't doing too hot. And it wasn't like all at once. The final to do was rather expedient, but I'd been working towards it. I got slower and slower, got less done. It was less reliable for the guys at the shop, for my boys. And they got a perspective on me because I was, quite frankly, too agreeable. Here's the crux. It's easier to build a perfect car than it is to build a car do a project on budget, on time. Especially if you really thoroughly enjoy what you're doing. There are cars and you'll look at them and they'll go, I need $15,000 in time, materials, and parts to do just a basic on-frame and get it where it looks right. It's complete, it's correct, it's what we need. And they go, well, I don't have 15 grand. You either work out the scope of work, you got three choices there. You work out the scope of work to where you can give them a quality job up to their budget. You take it on at their budget and you take money out of your pocket to finish their project. I've done that. Or you just turn the work down and turn it away. The fourth option that I don't even mention is you take their money, you hack the fucking project, send it back to them and run. You can't do that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what widget you're selling, product, service, item. You have to fill orders. And this brings me back to perspective and insight. When I went down, when I was not doing well, and it took me over a month to get back to where I was reasonably on par, another month to get my headspace sorted out and things working like they needed to, and yet another month now to start adjusting my insights and views. So we've got projects in the shop. Quick rundown is we're scrubbing the bug, getting it fitted up right. Got a 37 fiberglass body, 37 Ford fiberglass coupe in. We're just smoothing it out, finishing the fiberglass. It's been channeled and chopped, and they did a lovely job. We need to finish it. The guy building the hot rod knows metal, doesn't know fiberglass. We know fiberglass. We can do the job. I allowed things to get out of hand to a point that money's always tight, but money was funny, real funny for a while. Seeing me not perform and having funny money situations I failed as a boss. That these guys thinking they have levity to get away with things, do things however the hell they please, and so forth. I fostered that thought process for 3 months. The good side is one of the boys who've worked very diligently this week getting some stuff knocked out, and I think he's on board. He's college bound in this next fall, so I lose him no matter what. If he stays local, then I'll have him for, whatever work he can fit in. I'll make a schedule work for him because he's a good guy. He's got his head on his shoulders. He's got what he needs for him and his figured out pretty well. I'm pretty proud of the kid. For a young man, he's come a long ways just in the short time I've known him. The other young man, we butted heads on Monday, and it was over scope of work, level of fit and finish, refinement. It comes to a point, Project A. It's bid out, the haggling, we shook hands on a number, and I sit down and break down and make the schedule. I've got, let's say, 90 hours that I need to hit, the mark that I need to hit to perform that project. I would like 130 hours just from the onset on the scheduling aspect to make it all work. I'd like 130 hours, 135 hours I would like to have. It needs to budget around 90. And then we get things where they're good but not perfect. And we're looking for good. It's going to be a good job, it's going to be well done, but it's not perfect. For our budget, we can't handle perfect. You have to do good work, but you still have to make money at the end of the day. So in his attempts, and I'm attempting to explain to him, he's exacerbating the money being funny. And I can't allow that. He gets frustrated, it turns into petty arguing, so I gave him a week off. He came in Friday, and we had a talk. Because production is where it's at, they are going to run diminished schedules, and I'm going to run longer hours. I usually get to the shop between 7:30 and 8:30. Help shows up at 10, and I kick them out between 4 and 5, and I'll stay till 6 or 7. This allows me to get things done before and after shop hours when the general public isn't going to show up. Customers typically don't show up after hours or before hours. And we had that talk. I don't know how well it went. I'll know Tuesday when he comes back to work. Here's the point. This is very long and drawn out, and I'm going to wrap it up after this, but here's the point. As a boss, I failed. Now, I got two choices here. The smart choice in any business transaction would be cut them loose, find the next person, move on. Don't repeat your mistakes, and move on. Clean up this mess quickly, concisely, with decisive action. That is typically the smart route. Am I smart? No. So, we're going to give this a shot and see if he can come out and I can make him do and perform as I need him to do and perform. Don't know if it'll happen, but we'll find out. We'll figure it out. I'll know in the next week what direction I have to go. If I have to let him go or if we're going to perform. I'm going to give the guys lists of tasks. They perform the tasks and get them done. If they get them done early, they can move on to the next day's tasks if they wish, or they can go home early. Otherwise, they keep plugging until I'm done for the day, or I'm ready for them to leave for the day. And one of the lads I explained to very simplistically, if I give lists outside of human error, sometimes you look at a job and go, that should take an hour and it takes 12. That's not the worker's fault. That's just fault of circumstance. Past that, past those errors that we have to audible on as we roll, as we move forward, we'll have to step back and go, all right, that's incorrect, we got to do this instead. Past those, my statement was simple. You complete your tasks early, you have the options. You move on to the next day's list, or you can go home early. If you fail to complete your tasks in the time allotted, 10 to 4, let's say, you will continue to work that day until I'm done. If you can get caught up, we call that a wash. If you cannot accomplish those tasks, you've got 3 days in a row. 3 days. If you fail 3 concurrent days at accomplishing your list of tasks that need done, you'll have 3 days off, because obviously you need rest. You're tired, you can't focus. When this occurs again, we have to sit down and take the long look at why we're here. The other lad, that explanation, that conversation, I'm not even going to be able to have with him. He's just going to set it up for failure. I fear he's just going to set it up for failure. I should hope not, but I've come to expect a basic standard from people. and that standard isn't very high. So that's a trap I worked myself into. I've made my errors, and it very possibly spoiled the crew that I've got working for me. So in order to get a hold of everything, to wrangle everything, I'll work extra hours. I got 2 set of keys out there. I'm going to get wrangled up and back in my control. So the shop opens and closes according to my specifications. After hours work is out of the question at this point. Because I don't feel they're in a position of deserving that luxury to have access to the shop after hours. The last 2 jobs that one of the boys did in there was mess left. Not terrible, but you could tell someone had been there working on something else. We've got a small shop. I'm never going to run more than 2 or 3 guys as far as I can tell. No interest in it. As long as I'm continuing on what I'm doing and I'm the sole proprietor, I'll take my lumps and I'll move on. But at this juncture, I'm healthy enough, I'm well enough that production levels must be met. If I can keep my head straight, I can lead these boys into some glorious things. We got a lot accomplished this summer. We pushed out a lot of projects. Looking back, we did 8 or 10 full paints, and 6 or 7 of those were on stuff we want to do this year. That's an impressive step up from the year prior. I think we had 3 full paints. And then a bunch of car lot crap that just took our money from us and left us with nothing, really. So, I've learned the lessons, I'm moving on. It's kind of where we're at. I'm going to duck out of here. I'm going to let you guys have a day. But just, I don't know, the perils of being self-employed, having a small business. This is the big one. It's leadership. If you fail there, everything cascades dramatically and quickly. And I've learned that. I knew that, and I still let it happen. I still let myself fall into some of my old bad habits. Part of a person I let die long ago that seems to try to creep in around the edges every opportunity he gets. Perseverance, integrity, honesty, self-reliance. These are what I strive for every day. And oddly enough, they're not as easily reckoned as one would think. I've got too long a list of failures in my life up to this point. I'm not interested in living in the past, so we're going to move forward and make shit happen. With that, I'm out. You folks have a great day. That's just little bits to chew on. If you're thinking of doing your own, going out on your own, great. The things that I leave in Sunday morning coffee typically are just things to ponder and think about. Getting the work done is one thing, but leading men, leading a crew, managing budgets, timelines, and finances. I'm good at what I do. I'm not as good on the business side as I ought to be. And that's where the problems come in. Nothing we can't tackle or negotiate, though. I'm a boogie. You have a good one.